everything here at Mary's Gone Wild Folk Art, including the kitchen sink.
And I worked with Captain John almost about 9, 10 years, something like that, you know, down there, right there at Calabash, serving seafood. Used to, Calabash was what they call the, you know, the world's seafood capital. And we used to have people lined up all the way from 17. You could have walked on top of the cars on a Sunday evening right on into Calabash. And it was just like the Lord gave it to me about 6 years ago. I woke up one morning and He had put exactly in my brain exactly how to paint on reverse side of glass, and I had never painted before. And I sold my first one. I made my first one that Saturday evening. My husband and my mother-in-law making fun of me, saying I should do something that was going to turn something. And I told them I was, and sure enough, I had it sold before 10 o'clock the next morning at $80. That was my first one. They said, my God, get her more windows. Help her. Get her paint and get her windows. It just hit my head one day, you know, because everybody was calling me wild or, you know, crazy Mary about the things that I do and the recycling and building, you know, the buildings and the paintings and things like that. So it just hit my head. It should be called Mary's Gone Wild Folk Art. And so that's why I named it that, you know. And the Doll Village for the hungry children. So that's, you know, and I built all the little buildings and all the little furniture, even the little church pews that's inside the church and the little pulpit. And so it's been, you know, a treasure of love. It really has. A work of love and a labor of love. But this is paint on reverse side of glass, and you have to paint totally backwards from what you do on a board or canvas, and you have to make sure every little detail is out where you see it first before you put the last coat, or you don't see through glass. It's called reverse side paintings. It's really a lost art. There's not too many that can do it. I've had artists and art teachers, professors of art, even deans of art that come here and buy and say they cannot do it because you do have to paint totally backwards. Your brain has to work in reverse. But I've had people to buy from all over the United States and all over Germany, England, France, yeah. Taiwan and Japan's been here, yeah. Australia, Belgium, yeah. I've got one now, at least one picture in every state of the United States. So it's done very well. The Lord has really blessed it. And it's helped feed thousands and thousands of hungry children. I was doing the Doll Baby Museum and all the little playhouses that you've seen inside and everything. And when I got filled up out there, it was like the Lord was telling me to come out here and do it in bigger scale for the hungry children, and that's what I did. I come out and started building the little buildings, and people started leaving the donations, and I kept sending them, you know, to feed the hungry children from Larry Jones out of Oklahoma. Yeah. So now it's fed thousands of them. I've got countless certificates up there, you know. Yeah. We've had 14,057 in 6 months. Now he does feed children overseas and, you know, in other places when they have a tragedy, you know, phantom or whatever, but he mainly does it out of the United States. Yeah, people brought me nails, they brought me lumber, they brought me paint, they brought me, you know, like furniture and, you know, loads of stuff. And so I never have to buy no clothes or no shoes or it's all, you know, I give clothes and shoes away to people all the time. And other things too. And this is like a hedgeway highway ministry almost, because a lot of times people come up here and sold me things because they need a light bill or, you know, rent, or the baby needs milk, they say, or they got to have medicine from the drugstore. I hear it all. I never know where all the stories are true or not, but, you know, if I can help I try to help, and sometimes I can't help, so, you know, that's the way it goes. You know, I try to do whatever I can. This place has brought many hope and many joy and happiness, and because the world has got so hard that most people just think of themselves, that all they want to do is take, you know, give me, and it's nobody thinking about the other fellow man, whether they're going hungry or whether they're hurting or whether they're down or depressed or anything. And this place just brings joy to people. It brings them happiness. It brings them hope that there is good things still in the world. I love to recycle things. The windows I recycle, and all the mobiles that I do that recycle, and that I use the tin cans and the glass jars and the wood pieces that I even cut things out with, and the scrap wood and all this. I says, even if they throw it away later, it's went out of this county. It's not thrown away in this county. So Brunswick County ought to be very happy. I'm saying the landfill about them. God's gave us a beautiful world. He's gave us a lot of resources that we can use, and a lot of things that, you know, that people put their brain to thinking that can be used, see, instead of throwing in the dump, that blesses and helps people. And you've heard of the Little Rascals?
Yes.
Well,
You were the models.
our family was the Little Rascals, if there ever was. Because with 10 children, there was something going on every 20 seconds. Robert, my oldest brother, and Jimmy got a BB gun one year for Christmas. So they had laid it on the rocking chair on the front porch while they went in to get them something to eat. They told me, I was sitting on the steps there, they said, Mary, now don't touch this BB gun while we go in there and get us a bite to eat. Well, if they hadn't said that, I'd probably never even thought of it. But, childlike, I picked that BB gun up, pointed, and pulled the trigger. Well, it shot the back glass out of Uncle Cleveland's Ford that he had just bought, 55 Ford, that he had just bought about a month before that. I put that BB gun back down across that chair, honey, and I got off them steps and I went around and I crawled up under the house. Well, Robert and Jimmy comes out the kitchen, unbeknown what happened. Uncle Cleveland comes around the corner of the house. They had just picked up the gun. Uncle Cleveland looks at the gun, looks at his windshield, his back glass, and starts to take his belt off and start beating. And they're trying to tell him, we didn't do it. We didn't do it, Daddy. We didn't do it. He said, it must have been Mary. He said, Mary nothing. I don't see Mary around. And he's still whipping. Like I did one for a woman, and she had just went through a bad divorce, and I had made this picture, and right in the middle of the house window, I wrote this verse, you know, the broken pieces of your life. That just as these broken pieces of glass was made useful again, so does God do with the broken pieces of our life, make them beautiful again. And she bought that picture, and she said every time she even wrote me a letter, she said every time I walk down the hall and I see that, says it just gives me joy and peace and encouragement to know that, you know, that God's taking all the broken pieces of my life, is gonna make them whole again and bring something beautiful out of them.